Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Marx 999 that arrived, 13 bucks on eBay. I bought this for the wheels. It's up and running just absolutely splendidly. Anyway, I figured this would be the perfect first motor to test with the lawnmower battery. As you see, sealed wet cell 12-volt battery, 5 amp hours. And I've got it hooked to the controller, and you notice I added alligator clips to the lead going to the controller. I've got a magnetic lock-on coming from the controller. The Marx 999, going to be its first test running on a 12-volt lawnmower battery. Let's see how this goes. Reverse and forward. As you see, that is running just absolutely perfectly on this little wet cell battery. And it'll run much faster than this. As you see, I just got to be careful not to derail it on these curves. And this thing will fly. So running absolutely perfectly on 12 volts DC. This is running really, really well. E-unit works forward and reverse. And as you see, this battery is not very big. I mean, it's not very big at all. A completely sealed wet cell battery. Mighty Max battery, 12 volts, 5 amp hours. So if this draws half an amp, it'll run for 10 hours. And I know it draws less than 1 amp because I can run it on a 1 amp power supply with no problem at all. Let's turn it up a bit. As you can see, this is running really, really well. There's lots of reserve power. I mean, this thing will literally fly around this rail. So a Marx 999 running on a 12-volt lawnmower battery. Really difficult to beat that. And this motor is running just absolutely splendidly. You couldn't ask it to run better than this. 13 bucks on eBay. So I'm really pleased with it. Now we're going to test this battery and see how long it will last. But like I said, if this draws half an amp, that battery will run this for 10 hours. With intermittent use, I would imagine it will last for days. Very likely to last for a week or more. There's a lot of power. And I just got this thing barely cracked open. And this is running absolutely perfectly at a more than acceptable speed. And it'll run much, much faster. This thing will fly around this rail, running on this little wet cell battery. Like I said, it's actually quite incredible. So the first experiment with the lawnmower battery. So I'll run this for a few minutes and I'll test other locomotives. But I have absolutely no doubt this battery will run this thing all day long. I have no doubt about that at all. Just the experiments I did with the flashlight batteries. And then the experiments with the car battery. I still have not charged that car battery. So like I said, this is going to run this thing with intermittent use. You can run it for days. And it is running just absolutely perfectly. No problem at all. You can't spill it. No fumes, no problem. You don't have to refill it. All you have to do is recharge it. It's a little tiny battery. So like I said, it opens lots of possibilities for running your train when there is no power available. For doing off-site shows, demonstrations, train shows, whatever. So far, the 12-volt car battery has run every single locomotive that I've tested with no problems of any kind. And as you see, this 999 is running splendidly. and it's running on a lawnmower battery with no problems at all. So really pleased with the battery and really pleased with the 999. So I'm going to pull the motor back out. I'm going to dunk this shell down into some hot soapy water, get all the grudge and the grime off of it. I'll touch up the paint with an ink marker and oil it, and this thing is actually going to look quite good. I could add a front truck to it. It is missing the front truck. The rear truck is intact. There's no damage to the shell at all. Just bad storage for a very long time. But as you see, it is running perfectly on a lawnmower battery. So it's been an interesting experiment running model trains on batteries. And again, the only advantage you have of doing this is that you're not dependent on AC power. So you can take this thing, you can set it up on the beach and run it. You could run it anywhere. So a Marx 999 running on a lawnmower battery. And this little $10 controller. This thing is just absolutely worth its weight in gold. Just trying to run these things on a battery, there's no way to control it. You can't do it with a potentiometer. It gets way too hot. But this little controller works absolutely perfectly. So I'll be running this off and on the rest of the day, but I can guarantee you at 10 o'clock this evening it's still going to be running on this little battery. I have no doubt about that. No doubt at all. It's going to run all day. And with intermittent use, it'll run for days without recharging it. So, just a quick experiment. It's running perfectly. No problems of any kind. So a Marx 999 running on a 12-volt lawnmower battery. That's really interesting. So this is a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.